What's up guys, Sheldon back with another review, and today we're looking at the Super Action statue JOTARO Kujo from part 4, Diamond Is Unbreakable. So this is just his second costume, if we're not counting the different colors he comes in. This is the first costume. Alright, cool, let's take a look at the box really quickly though. Alright, so here we go. Got that black and gray color with the harlequin pattern. Nice flowery designs right here. He actually only comes with 2 faces and 2 hats, and these are the different combinations you can put him in. And here are the accessories and display stand. We got some box art, got a box window, and just more box art. Alright, let's take a closer look at the accessories though. So here you go, here's a little visual of what he comes with. So he comes with more right hands than he does left hands though. He comes with these half hands to put into his pockets, backpack, and an angry face. Alright. So let's take a closer look at his face though. So overall pretty well done. You can't tell, but my figure has like a black spot on the nose, but I think that's mostly just a factory thing. That's no problem. But overall pretty nicely done here. Pretty clean lines even though they're really small. Nice sculpt on the emblem right here. The gold trim of the hat is pretty nice. And there's nice shading transition into the hat, and actually you kind of can tell, or maybe you can't, but the hat does come off, and you can just switch hats and faces, so that's nice. Another interesting thing too is his eyebrows are connected to his hair. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it's kind of funny. I like it. And he also has earrings, which is a nice touch, but overall really cleanly painted in the face. Alright, I'm going to put this back on right here. He also comes with this backpack right here, and it's mostly soft plastic in the straps right here. This part is raised, but you could technically have him wear it like a regular backpack. This part is glued down a little further, but it's really meant to be slung over his shoulders, and I'll show you in a second. But overall, pretty nice piece right here. Really well done. And then for the hands, he has a pointing hand for the right side. He's got 2 relaxed hands right here. He's got this one hand, I don't know, maybe this is like a come here, I'm gonna beat you up hand. And of course we have those half hands that go into his pockets, which I'll show you in a second. Alright, let's take a look at the figure itself. Ooh, if I can get that to focus, come on. Oh, cool. Alright, so he stands just about 6 inches, which is about 15 centimeters. Like 15 and a half. And of course, here he is next to Stardust Crusaders Jotaro. Let me see if I can get him closer because the coattails do get in the way. So I think they're about the same height. Jotaro just has his legs split. And here he is next to Star Platinum. And here is also the older Star Platinum. Alright, so here they are together. And so I know some people are going to want to know how they stack up. So let's see, here he is next to part 3 Jotaro, or sorry, part 3 Star Platinum. So overall it's okay. The part 4 Star Platinum matches better just because there's more white and it's brighter color overall. But I know some people are only going to buy one or the other, so here it is in case you want to take a look at how they look next to each other. Alright, let's take a closer look at the articulation though. Alright. Oh, forgot to mention right here though. So again, different hat right here. So this is like the male Sicchan hat and the hand, and this is the dolphin hat, which is way sweeter in my opinion because he's a marine biologist and dolphins are sweet. Alright, so though, let's take a look at the neck though. So he's got that hinged ball joint right here. Let me just take it off, but pretty standard for this line. Got this hinge. So overall, pretty good rotation. Here it is going back, here it is going down, and then the neck is on a single ball joint, so it does swivel around. But a recurring problem with this figure though is that it looks good, but the sculpt is gonna hinder articulation. So as you can see, the collar comes up and it doesn't let him look up very far. But looking forward down is not bad. You do get some pretty decent tilt here. Alright, and then for the shoulders, again, looks nice, but you only get about 45 degrees. You do get a full swivel because the shoulder piece itself is separate, so you can move it around, but the sculpt is going to limit it a little bit. So you get a full rotation right there. The elbows are double jointed, so really good range of motion there actually. It is pegged into the bicep right here, so you can get a swivel in the elbow, but the elbow cap is going to get in the way because you can see that it's sculpted down, so you could get it if you finagle it, and you do get rotation in the forearm right here, and technically you do get a rotation or swivel at the bicep. So you can get him into a pose like this, kind of, but it's going to be a little hard. And then for the wrist, though, here's the largest problem for me. You can see how deep the joint is into that sleeve. So the articulation technically is there. You can rotate it a little bit, but once you get the hand in, you can probably tell where this is going. You're going to get basically no articulation whatsoever. So I have mixed feelings because the character is not, like, Jotaro is not a dynamic character. He doesn't move a lot, so it matches his character, but as a figure, it's kind of a bummer. For the waist, you have just a ball joint in the diaphragm and no movement whatsoever in the waist. So here it is, though. Going forward, I guess, so that's it. So there's a little bit, and you do get rotation, though. Not bad. So pretty decent. And again, none right here, so try not to break it. And then for the jacket, it is hinged, as you can see, so it goes up pretty far. And then something that does happen is it will kind of like get in the way, so you just lift it up and it'll tuck back in. So it kind of looks ugly when it's just like this, though. You can see that it's just very obvious that it's a hinged jacket, but I think it's a decent trade-off because if it didn't move, you'd get no way to bend his knees. So you get it out of the way, and you do get to get him to bend. Okay, speaking of bending, though, the hip articulation, you get a little bit less than 90 thanks to the thickness of the pant, but if you rotate it a little bit, you get a little bit higher. Here he is going back, not that much, and then off to the side is okay, about 45, and then you do get a thigh swivel right here, which is pretty decent. And then for the knees, double jointed, pretty decent. You get about 90 degrees, a little bit better. And it is pegged into the thigh, so you technically can get a swivel, but again, the sculpt fits so well that the kneecap's going to get in the way, so you're not going to be able to rotate that much. And then for the ankles, this is a separate piece, but the articulation is going to be pretty limited. So going back, it's actually pretty decent. I was surprised at how much it goes. But going forward, you're going to get almost none at all. You do get a toe hinge, though. But again, the joint is really far into this pant leg, so it is going to inhibit. And then let's see how far we can get the rocker. Basically none at all. And so I can't even see the joint. So it's in there. Technically, the articulation is in there. But again, thanks to the design of the character and sculpt, you're not going to get much articulation out of this figure. Before I forget, though, let's take a look at the accessories again. So again, here it is, here is his backpack, though, and it's supposed to go over his right arm, like this. So actually, this piece is really nice. It's made in a way where it slings on very snugly. It fits very well, so it looks pretty cool. And it technically can go on the other side, too, because it's nice and soft. So you can actually make him wear it like a real backpack. So that's cool. And then for the hands, you have these half hands right here. Let me see if I can get the right side. Okay. So for these half hands, what you do, though, is unlike the Part 3 Jotaro, the pockets are actually in the coat right here. So you can see that he has these pegs, and they're really nicely hidden. And all you do is you peg them into the holes like that. So it works decently. The only thing is that you have to find the right angle, because if you don't do it right, it's very obvious he has the half hand. So you gotta finagle it to get it in there. And, you know, the articulation does not make it easy. That's the only thing. So I'm probably not going to do this because it doesn't, well, I should say I'm not going to keep him in this pose because it's just kind of a hassle and it doesn't stay in. But if you get it real tight, you can see that it looks pretty cool. But it's kind of hard to deal with. So it looks good here, but mixed feelings overall. It's cool that they did it, though, because it is a pretty iconic pose. Alright, let's take that half hand off, though, just because it's going to distract me if I keep looking at it. So that does it for articulation. Let's take a look at the paint and sculpt. So it does look pretty good, I gotta say. It is a single color, but if you take a look at the design of the character, it looks good, right? Because on this inner shirt, I don't even know what this is. I guess it's like a vest. You have these like patterns right here, which are really cleanly done and painted. You got this emblem, you got this, I guess this emblem and the trim right here. You have the buckles done really well. You have this accessory that's small, but also flexible. And the paint on the wrist is very clean. Whoop. And even on the shoes, it's pretty sharp too. So it's a good looking figure, and it's a bit of a trade-off in terms of articulation. One thing that I do have a problem with though, and this is common with all the Diamond Is Unbreakable characters, is that the pant legs are just so baggy. I don't know. Maybe it's just the design of all the characters in that part, but it just looks so weird. I don't like how baggy it is. Just like the thighs are really big, and just the legs are so much bigger than the arms. So this figure, I've got mixed feelings. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of Jotaro himself, so I might be a little bit biased, but I mean, after looking at the figure, it's a pretty good representation of the character. He's not a character that like jumps around a lot or moves around, so like he doesn't need to do all these different crazy poses and fabulous poses. But it's Jojo though, so it's Jojo without a fabulous pose. So if you're a fan of the character, it's a good representation. I would say pick it up. If you're not a fan, if you're looking just for like, I don't know, just a cool figure, it might not be for you because of how limited the articulation is, but it looks really good, and it comes with a decent batch of accessories. So I guess, I don't know, take that into account whether or not you want to buy it, but it's pretty decent. Not as good as some of the other figures in terms of articulation, but that's pretty much it. Okay, well that pretty much does it for this review though. I'm going to put this guy in some poses at the end. If you enjoyed, feel free to give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe for more videos. Alright guys, thanks for watching.